All right, everybody. So what did we get into today? We talked about holding a grudge against the cheater. We also talked about your pets, How did you get your pets? What do you think your pets would sound like that can actually say something to you? And then, of course, Cam Newton saying that a woman's value goes down based on the number of kids she has, or we'll have to figure that one out as well. So let's get going. What'd you send me here? 842-547-7. Oh, this is a good conversation. Hey, Rome. So I was having a conversation the other day. Does a married woman have to ask permission to go places when it's without her husband? Ask permission is a very strong word or a very strong term to use. So do they have to ask permission? No. Do they have to have a conversation about it? Yeah, probably. I mean, just out of respect for your spouse. And when you say, does a married woman have to, does a husband have to? I mean, it goes both ways, right? If he's going to go to the strip club, does he have to have permission? If she's going to go to a singles bar with her friends, does she have to ask permission? Or do they have to have a conversation about it? Asking permission is kind of a strong term to use. So, no, of course, adults do not have to ask other adults for permission to do anything, married or not. Do you have conversations about it and have respect for your relationship? Sure. So, what else did you say here? And should married couples go together everywhere, or is it okay to go without the other? And we were talking about concerts or the beach. No. Vacations? No. I mean, it just depends. Where do you want to go without your spouse? That's the question. And I will tell you, in my experience of life, the couples who like to do things without each other and they're so proud of themselves, of how secure they are in their relationship, that they go do single things, usually end up getting cheated on, usually end up getting divorced, usually end up having bad relationships. Why do you want to go to the beach without your spouse? Concerts? I mean, sure, if it's a concert that you're not necessarily into, and maybe it's something that you and your friends or her and her friends, then sure. But for the most part, no. Husbands and wives should do stuff together. They should go to the store together. Why in the hell are you with them then? If you're not going to do stuff with your spouse, why are you with them? If you want to hang out with your friends, don't get married. Just hang out with your friends. I mean, the stupidity in that logic is amazing to me. I'm going to get married. I'm going to settle down. And then I'm going to try as hard as I can to do other things without my spouse. Yeah, why would you do that? And like I said, I know a lot of you are going to go, well, no, that's because insecure people can't do. No, that's nothing to do with insecurity. Small portion of people are insecure, but nothing to do with insecurity. It has to do with respect and the fact that why are you with somebody if you're always trying to get away from them? That's just stupid. And like I said, I know a lot of couples that were so secure in their relationship that they were out sleeping with other people instead of being with their spouses. Because you know what? You put yourself in bad situations, bad things happen. And that's just fact. All right, 842-547-7. And on top of that, flip it the other way around. Can a husband go anywhere without asking permission? Can a husband go everywhere without his wife? A guy asked me if I said he was having a conversation the other day. Does a married woman have to ask permission to go any place without her husband? And should married couples do everything together, or should they do separate stuff? Good morning, Hot. What's up?
I just heard a topic and I just had a little thing on it. There's sometimes, like my wife, she'll go to the beach with her friend, like if her friend's having a bad time, my girl will take her to the beach for a little vacation, which is fine with me. Because when me and the guys were going to go on a fishing trip, ain't going on that. So you want to go have your little beach trip with your friend, that's fine, because I'm going to have mine with my guys, and we're going offshore fishing.
All right. Sounds like a great relationship. Sounds like they're keeping score. That's the other thing that you guys don't get when it comes to like what he's a perfect example of. Go do what you want so I can go do what I want. What kind of healthy relationship are you really in? And you could say you are. Nobody's going to lie and say, no, I'm not, Rome. We're great. Yeah, while she's over getting Mai Tais and margaritas from some other dudes. What are you doing on a fishing trip? I know some guys that go on a fishing trip, and I know what they do. Fishing trip in Mexico every year. Yeah. They have a great time without their wives. Yeah. All right, 842-547-7. So, yeah. What's wrong with you guys? Hey, Rome, so I have a conversation the other day. Does a married woman have to ask permission to go places when it's without her husband? Well, does a husband have to ask permission? No. Asking permission is not what adults should do. They should have respect to have a conversation about it, though. And should married couples go together everywhere, or is it okay to go with? I think married couples should go together everywhere. You know, well, and that's very simply because where do you want to go without them? It's never to church. Good morning, Nat. What's going on?
Hey, Romeo. I am so glad that topic came up.
Okay.
Because that's the way we are. I've been with him for 10 years. It's not that we don't go anywhere without each other, but we don't go to the bars. We don't go to vacations without each other. We do a lot of things together. We both feel that way. Like, why am I going to be with you if I'm going to be out playing the single row type of deal?
Well, and you're right. And what these people that think that are listening that do this don't understand, why is it always you're doing single stuff without your spouse? You know?
Yeah, like I have a friend who was like, you know, what do you mean you're not going to go? You can't go to the bar without him. I go, it's not that I can't. It's not that I can't go to Las Vegas with all of the girls, but I don't want to.
Well, yeah.
Does he trust me? He does. Do I trust him? Yes. He goes to the pizza spot during football time occasionally with the guys because I don't feel like going to go watch that game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? When we have barbecues, you know, he's hanging out with the guys in the backyard and I'm chit-chatting with the girls in the front. It doesn't mean I don't trust him. It just means, like, why am I going to go out and do things without him? And
that's normal. That's what couples should do. So when people say that, well, why do this? Like, well, why? But nobody's saying, you know what? I want to just talk with my friend. But why do you have to I haven't seen my friend in so long. Why do you have to see your friend in a singles location? Why don't you guys come to the house? Why don't you do things why don't you go to dinner? Why does it always end up being a singles location that you go, well, that's where we ended up? Well, okay, that doesn't...
be like, oh, my boyfriend or my husband, you know, they went out with friends, they came home at 2 in the morning. That's a very inappropriate hour to come home when you're in a relationship.
Very disrespectful. You know? Very disrespectful.
So glad. I was like, oh, someone agrees with me. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that agree with that, but I have people that I know that are like, so you're going to ask permission? I'm like, no, I don't got to ask permission, but I ain't going to Vegas with just nothing but girls without him. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, then why stay single? That's what I tell those people. Stay single then, because obviously you want to screw around on your husband in some form or fashion. You want to screw around on your husband. That's why you're going to Vegas, calling it a girls' trip.
Yep. Exactly.
All right, cool. Thanks for calling. Later.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't give a damn what any one of you say. If you need to plan a trip or plan events without your spouse, that always end up being in a location that's for singles or a singles situation. They always do. You're screwing around on your spouse and you're a cheater, okay? You could lie to me all you want, but you'd be wrong. And eventually the truth comes out. A guy texted me and he said, hey, Rome, I was having a conversation. He goes, do married women have to ask permission to go places without their husband? No, of course not. Adults should never have to ask permission from other adults. Should married couples go everywhere together? Yeah, they should. Why would you not want to take your spouse somewhere? Good morning, what's going on?
Hey, what up, Rome?
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, I'm on Bluetooth, so if it sounds crappy, my bad. But hey, ask that girl if she got a sister, man. Ask her if she got a sister.
She got a sister?
Ask her if she got a sister. I need a woman with that mindset. And for your friend that's telling you, oh, you know, why is that a problem? Stay away from her. She's miserable. She's single. She can't keep a man for a reason, Rome. Stay away from her. So, you know, that woman right there has got a good mindset. You know what? Her husband, whoever she's with, is very lucky, dude.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, brother.
Keep that a buck. If you got a sister, let me know.
Keep you apprised. Alrighty, 42547-7. Hey, you Evan Chiefs fan. You got to love these couples in Bakersfield. Nothing but telenovela. Exactly. And I'm going to let you know right now, if you need a guy's night or a girl's night, you're getting screwed around on in some form or fashion. And if the girls are going or the guys are going to Vegas for a weekend trip, you're definitely getting screwed around on in some form or fashion. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if you're too stupid to understand that, well, I guess you deserve what you get. Hey, Rome, Julio here. You already know me and my wife always together for 27 years. Oh, my God. Just don't get married. You want to do things with other people. Stupid people grow up already. That's what I'm saying, Julio. They don't if you want to be, nobody says you have to get married, okay? If you want to just hang out with your fellas and spend more time with your friends than your spouse, then don't get married. There's no reason for it. Nobody's making you get married. Or maybe you guys are just very miserable people. Because like, I know Julio and his wife, they have a great time all the time. Drinking, hanging out, going to events, you know, eating. They're just always together having a great time. And it's not like when you go out, you just sit there with your spouse. You go out, you meet people, you have a good time, you enjoy social settings. But for some reason, you people in Bakersfield think that you need to get away from your spouse. If you need to get away from your spouse, you need to get out of your marriage. I got this, what this guy sent me. He says, hey, Rome, I was having a conversation the other day. Does a married woman have to ask permission to go places without her husband? Of course not. Adults should never have to ask permissions from their spouse. They're adults. Have conversations. Have respect for each other. Asking permission, no. That's what kids do. And should married couples go everywhere together or go without each other? We're talking about concerts or the beach, things like that. No. Married couples should go everywhere. Well, everywhere is a little too far. But why would you? Where do you want to go without your spouse? And any place that you want to go without your spouse is probably not conducive to a good, respectful marriage. I'll tell you that much. Alrighty, 42547-7. So, yeah, no, why wouldn't you go everywhere with your spouse? Hey, Rome, is this only applicable for married people or boyfriends and girlfriends? Well, I will tell you this. How serious of a boyfriend or girlfriend are you, and how much respect you have for a boyfriend or girlfriend? Okay? Now, the ultimate sign of commitment is marriage. So as long as you're still boyfriend, girlfriend, I'm going to give him a little leeway, him or her, because you haven't committed yet. And at a certain point, and if you're not at the point to get married yet, then what do you really care if they're doing stuff without you? Because you're not there yet. Alrighty, 42547-7. I want to do what Seahawk Lou did. Marry at the Shafter Court at 15 and be happily married after in Wasco. Okay. Seahawk Lou, go ahead. Anyway, the idea is you don't have to ask permission from your spouse to do anything. But you should have a conversation and be respectful to whatever your marriage is. The other part about going places without each other, that just is stupid to me. I don't understand. Well, then why did you get married? You know? That's what I don't understand. What do you want to do? Every time couples say, oh, we do all kinds of stuff without each other. Yeah, because you guys are screwing around on each other. And it's just acceptable in your marriage because you both understand what's going on. But that's okay too, if that's what you like. But don't lie to people. When it comes to holding a grudge, man, how long should you hold a grudge? Are you guys holding a grudge? Is it even worth your mental health to hold a grudge? This is an interesting text message I got. And it's a little specific about holding something against somebody, but I just wonder in general sometimes what it's worth. Already 42547-7. Hey, Romeo, I have a question for you. So 2 years ago, I messed up and cheated on my wife. She decided to stay with me, but life is rough after 2 years. She still holds it against me and treats me like it. Don't you think at some point, since she decided to stay, that she needs to get over it? Do you really? Let me ask you this question, first of all. Should anybody really get over being cheated on? Is that even possible to get over being cheated on? I mean, and be with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy says, she stayed. But that's a legitimate question. Already 4254 is 7-7. Should she get over it because she decided to stay? I mean, maybe for her own mental health, maybe not for you, but maybe for her own mental health. It's got to be tough, right? Every day waking up bitter, every day waking up holding a grudge against something or somebody or whatever it may be. I mean, that's got to be. But the other thing, though, is if she was to leave, she still might have to live with those feelings, those hurt feelings, and hold a grudge against you. Maybe she can meet another guy that would, or another person that would take that all away and make her happier in life. But that is a very good question. Already 4254 is 7-7. Holding a grudge can really drag you down in life. So I would say to her, she needs to get over it if she can, for herself, not for you or not for your marriage. And then once she deals with it for herself, then see how she feels and where she wants to proceed in your relationship. All right, so I got this from a guy, and it says, "Hey, Romeo, I have a question for you. 2 years ago, I messed up and I cheated on my wife. She decided to stay with me, but life's been rough after 2 years. She still holds it against me and treats me like it. Do you think at some point once she decided to stay, she needs to get over it? I think that she needs to get over it for herself or leave, or she's just going to live a miserable life her existence. I mean, that's no fun, right?" Already 4254 7-7. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Mr. Romeo?
Yeah, what up, man?
Man, what's going on? Hey, they forgive, but they don't forget. You feel me?
Well, I do feel you, but I guess that's kind of the question then. If you forgive.
If you're going to be with them, you might as well forgive, but you don't forget.
But the not forgetting is what causes the problems long term, isn't it?
Well, look here, if you're going to be with a person after they cheated, you either going to have to forgive them or leave them.
Okay, but don't forget about it. Okay.
Other than that, you forgive them and you move on.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, you got it, brother.
I understand what he's saying by forgive, but don't forget about it. But it's the not forgetting about it that kind of brings up all the issues again, right? Whenever something occurs and you start to think, that's a very good question. RD4254 7-7. What do you think, man, when it comes to this situation? If she's going to stay with him after he cheated, does he have to just accept the fact that it's always going to be a problem? Because he says life hasn't been great after the last 2 years. She's holding a grudge and she's treating him like it. So now at that point, doesn't he have to decide whether he's going to stay or not? Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I got this from a guy, and it says, "Hey, Romeo, I have a question for you. 2 years ago, I messed up and I cheated on my wife. She decided to stay with me, but life's been rough after 2 years. She still holds it against me and treats me like it. Do you think at some point once she decided to stay, she needs to get over it? I think that she needs to get over it for herself or leave, or she's just going to live a miserable life her existence. I mean, that's no fun, right?" RD4254 7-7. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hello, Mr. Romeo. Just chiming in.
Hey, what's up? What do you got? What do you think?
So I believe if she went back, she has to either let it go or don't go back. If she's still holding on to it, she shouldn't have went back.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Based on what the last guy that called said, forgive but don't forget. If she forgives him and stays, but doesn't forget about it because she doesn't want to be played again, Does that mean that she can never treat him poorly because of his infidelity?
No, I think that if she decided to go back, she's probably gonna always have that insecurity. It's always gonna be in the back of her head. But apparently, if she went back, she loves him that much. And if she didn't want to do it, she shouldn't have done it, because that's not fair to him either. And this is coming from a woman. If you decide to go back, that means that you love him that much or you're that stupid.
Let me ask you this question, because I know, and I just found this out a little while ago. I have some friends that were high school sweethearts, and he cheated. And nobody ever would have thought that would have happened. She stayed with him and treats him like he cheated. But is she stupid, or is it because she's his high school sweetheart and she don't know any better?
It could be the same thing. I was with my high school sweetheart for 22 years, and I was just that stupid. That was he cheated, and I went back, and that's why I'm saying from and if you go back to this, it's kind of controversial, just a little bit.
Okay.
Like if you're with your high school sweetheart, you've been together for so many years, you really just don't know anything else sometimes.
Yeah.
Or it's just there's two sides. I don't know, their history. I don't know if they've been together for a long time.
Okay.
But with my situation, I was just that dumb because I didn't know any better. And once I left, I was like, that was dumb. I was stupid. I went back.
At least you figured it out. You can't call yourself stupid because you figured it out.
I figured it out.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
There's also another side, too. Like, maybe, she probably just was like, she could be on the other side of the fence where she was like, hey, I love him. He loves me. He I'm sorry, can I say that?
No, you can't say that, but okay.
Okay. Well, all right, just type them in.
All right, thanks for calling. Bye.
Okay.
Guy sent me a text message talking about his wife. I guess he cheated on his wife a couple of years ago, and she decided to stay with him, but she still holds it against him and treats him like it. He says, at some point, shouldn't she get over it if she decided to stay? I guess. I guess. 842-547-7. Yo, Rome, she did leave him, just not his money or comforts. Oh, I see. The Bakersfield way is to stay with the man, even though he cheated on you, stay with him for all the other conveniences other than a loyal person, right? And a loving partner. Yeah, I get it. Hey, Rome, if you cheat on a woman, she will never forget. I have been married 32 years and forget about it. Till this day, she brings it up to my kids. What can you do when one though that and left that way back? What can you do? Something, I don't know what that means. Okay, so you cheated, you stayed with 32 years, you stayed together. She still brings it up. Well, I mean, why would you put up with that? That would be my question is, okay, you cheated, she decides to stay with you, and now you're going to live a life of misery, okay? Now, she's already living the life of misery because she won't forget about it. She can't let it go, and it's always going to bother her, which is fine. Seems pretty normal, right? My question would be, as the cheater, now you're going to live a life of misery trying to what? Make it up to her? And your life's going to suck for the rest of your life? Well, who would want to live like that? At what point do you have to look at what happened and maybe move on? Guy texted me. He was talking about his wife holding a grudge against him. I guess he cheated on her a couple of years ago, and he says she decided to stay, but she still treats him bad. She treats him like he cheated, and he was asking if he thinks at some point she should get over it since she decided to stay. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough situation to deal with, right? But I will say this, if she is holding a grudge, she's probably not happy, right? So why would she stay in a relationship and be unhappy? That would be my first question. My second question is, at a certain point, she's going to drive you. You just said you're not happy in your relationship because of how she treats you for the last couple of years. You said life's been rough. Why would you stay there? If that's what's going on, why are two unhappy people staying together? RD4254707. Yo, Rome. If you decide to stay with the person after they cheated on you, you have to move on, or else you should have left them. Why stay and be miserable? Call her out on it and tell her you decided to stay. You can't keep punishing me for the rest of our lives. But that doesn't mean just because she forgave you that you can just do it again. That's probably what she's scared of, okay? And I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with that. But what is the solution then? That's the question. What is the real solution for both of them? Let's see here. Hey, Romeo. Okay, I'm a woman and I went through the same thing. My ex cheated and I tried to forgive and forget. You know what I learned? He kept doing it, kept looking. I kept looking like an idiot, kept trying to justify his actions. But the best thing I did was leave him. Only regret was why I hadn't done it sooner. It was once I left that he cried and begged for me not to go. I laughed and left with the clothes on my back, never looked back. Best decision I ever made. It's best the couple just go their separate ways. Might be right. So a guy texted me, man. He was talking about a couple of years ago, he cheated on his wife, right? Well, she decided to stay, and I guess it's been rough. The last couple of years have been rough for him. So he's wondering, since she decided to stay, shouldn't she get over it and not treat him bad? I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but sure. Good morning, now. What's going on?
Romeo, people are just crazy. I tried that for 6 months. Once I seen the little, the other side of the mask off, I tried that for 6 months. And it just ain't going to work for me. Get somebody else to do it, because absolutely not.
But
life is too short to be doing all that. And if there's kids involved, people say, keep the family together for the children. No, he should have kept his thing to himself for the children. Okay? I would have found so quick. I'm not, maybe in my younger days, when I had my first marriage, I tried to, but absolutely not. If you do something like that, you're gone, because it ruins your peace of mind. You can't be happy with nobody like that.
I agree with you. I agree. I don't know how I just don't understand, with life being as short as it is, how you can sit there and be unhappy every day.
Yeah, and it's not only about being unhappy. I think a lot of people are so caught up in the persona and the image and, what others will think. They're embarrassing. It's humiliating. They don't want to be the divorced person. But I don't care. I'm proudly divorced, baby. Happy and about to get married again. I'm not waiting on nobody. I'm not waiting for you to get it together. I'm not waiting for you to figure it out, baby. While you trying to think about it, I'll be at the courthouse, filing in paper.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you got it figured out. Thanks for calling. Bye. She does. RD4254707. Yo, Romeo, they both need to move on. Never put up with cheating. I agree with that. I just don't know how you can. Some people can deal with it. There's people out there that are living in marriages right now where one of them has been cheated on, and somehow they're figuring it out. I don't know if they're faking the funk, or if they really figured out how to live a different relationship after the infidelities. But I agree with that. I probably couldn't deal with a cheater. I mean, I don't know how I could. I don't know. RD4254707. A guy texted me. He was talking about he cheated on his wife a couple of years ago. He says life's been rough the last couple of years, right? I guess she hasn't forgiven him, and she treats him like it. He was saying at this point, Rome, if she's going to stay, shouldn't she forgive me? So basically, the way I read that is what? You got two miserable people in a relationship. You're not happy. Obviously, if she's still taking it out on you, she can't be happy. So what kind of life are you really living? I mean, that's just kind of sad if you think about it, right? RD4254707. Hey, Romeo, just my opinion. She's staying with him and taking advantage of him because that's the type of marriage she wants, where she's in control. Maybe he was kind of controlling in their marriage, and now she has the opportunity to control him and take everything out on him, and that's how she wants to live. She may not be miserable, Romeo. She just may want to be the boss in the relationship. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Hey, Rome, it's a double standard. As a man, that's what we say to justify it makes sense. But if he's staying, he's got to understand it brought her a lot of insecurities. He needs to live with that and let her go when she's ready. Best thing to do is split, because it's a whole lot of toxicity going on. I agree with you, man. I just don't understand how either one of them are happy. Unless maybe that last guy that texted is right. Maybe now she gets to control the relationship. So maybe she does feel good about herself for being in a relationship that she had no control over for a while. I have no idea. So we're talking about our animals, right? Like how they communicate with you. Like I believe that every animal finds the person they're supposed to live with or they're supposed to be with. I believe that. And that all my animals were meant to be with me and they all found their way there. And whatever that story may be, right? But man, the things that they do, animals do are just crazy. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rome?
Hey, Ruben. What's going on, man?
Hey, you know how you said that, they all have a purpose, their home, they find and all that?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Rome. I've always wanted a Great Pyrenees dog. So I bought a pup from a buddy of mine. Had him with about 7 months, 8 months. He was a big boy. Rome, he would bark all night. And how he shedded a lot of hair, so we would go to the backyard. My whole backyard was covered in hair.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stop him to bark. So I found him, I put him up for adoption because the neighbors were complaining and everything. But I had 3 or 4 people come and I wouldn't let him go. But this family came from Paso Robles and they owned a lime orchard out there.
Oh, okay.
So they came, met him, and I said, oh, well, hold on. They came back a second time, met him, brought the whole family. I let them take him. You know what, Rome, that lady, I'm going to send you the letter that lady sent me. She told me that dog has been taking care of all the kids in their little area where they live. That a while back there was a guy trying to kidnap one of her nieces, and that the dog chased him down.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, she's like, thank you. Thank you so much. And he keeps the coyotes away out there when he barks all night. So they like his barking out there because they're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's impressive.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I say, you're absolutely right. Every animal has its purpose and they have their home.
That's crazy. Yeah, don't send me the letter, Ruben. I won't read it. But thanks for the story.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Like you said, Rome, every animal finds their home and their purpose, why they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, all right, Ruben. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. RD42547-7, and then they just sit there and look at you like if they spoke your language, they would have something to say. Oh, so we're talking about our animals, right? Like how they communicate with you. Like I believe that every animal finds the person they're supposed to live with or they're supposed to be with. I believe that. And that all my animals were meant to be with me and they all found their way there. And whatever that story may be, right? But man, the things that they do, animals do are just crazy. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ron? Good morning.
What up, man?
Hey, man, my wife, she has her little chihuahua that we've had for a couple years already. She just barely had a litter of puppies, and right now when we sit outside, like, smoking a cigarette or something on the couch on the porch, and we bring her out to use the restroom, and she wants to go back inside with her baby. She looks at us, looks at the door, and then looks at us and she starts to goofing. And then we look at her and we're like, you want to go inside and go with your babies? And then she starts scratching, look at her like,
yeah.
Like, she lets us know. And then we have about 2 pits and 5 chihuahuas, or 3 chihuahuas, and they all sit by the door when they want to go out. You know what I mean? They bark and they make noise and they start running around in circles by the front door, like letting us know, like, hey, let me out. It's crazy.
It's crazy how, because I have a dog, a little chihuahua that barks just one bark when she wants to go. And that's the sound of the bark.
The bark that I want to get out.
It's crazy how these animals are. All right, man. Thanks for calling.
And then we had a big pit.
A what?
He looked at himself. I have a big blue pit, and he looked at himself in the mirror, and he just kept looking at himself like, what the heck is this? And like, he was looking confused, like, is this me or something? Because I have a big mirror in my room to for my wife so she could look when she gets dressed and stuff.
That's
and
hilarious.
Looking at him like turning his head left to right, like, who is this?
That's great, man. That's great. All right, man. Thanks for calling. All right. 842-547-7. Like I said, man, these animals, I guess it's just funny, man, when you're sitting with these animals, the way they look at you, like they just look like they got something to tell you. I have a couple of animals, right? And their characteristics are so amazing. Now, I have this cat that showed up at my door a few years ago and lives with me now. Like, he just moved in. Like, he knew this was the spot he was supposed to be, right? And he showed up as a kitten. But every morning, well, not every morning, 2 or 3 times a week, he wants to go out early in the morning. And he will sit right next to my head and just slightly touch me on my head to wake me up. Not aggressively, just real soft and gentle, just to wake me up. These animals are amazing in the way that they do things. Already 42547-7, Rome. My dad has 2 Doberman dogs, and the female is overprotective of my dad. If he is sitting in the couch and I sit next to him, she goes right in the middle and barks until I get up. She is obsessed with him. Well, she probably spends the most time with your dad. That's pretty funny, though. But they look like they have something to say, like they could talk to you. You know, like, that was the other thing. I always thought this was funny, and maybe it's just me, you know. Sometimes, have you ever looked at your animals and thought to yourself, if they could talk to you, what would they sound like? Like, I had this dog years ago that for some reason I thought if she could actually talk to me in English, she would sound like a British school teacher. I don't know why I thought that. If you guys all go do that today. Every one of you listening, when you get home today, look at your pets, whether you have a dog or a cat, look at them. And just imagine if they could actually verbalize to you what you think the tone of their voice would sound like. What would they sound like? An old chain smoker? Maybe a British school teacher? What would they sound like? Good morning, what's going on?
Hey, Ro.
Hey, what's up?
My God. So, as soon as you started talking about your dog sounding like a British school teacher, me and my kids sat around and actually put a voice to all of our pets. Makes us think that they are British or English old man, but this is what's here.
That's hilarious.
The funniest thing is that you brought it up. I was like, oh my God, we have done that. Like, we have a big mastiff in our backyard, but for some reason, when we hear his voice, it would be like a little feel, because he's so, like, a big old teddy bear.
Yeah,
I was like, and then the kids just stop.
I thought I was the only one that ever did that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. That's so funny. I thought I was the only one that did it. You look at your animals, you're staring at each other, and you put a voice to them. You put, an inflection, a voice, what you think they would sound like if they talk to you. We're talking about our animals, right? Like how they communicate with you. Like, I believe that every animal finds the person they're supposed to live with or they're supposed to be with. I believe that. And that all my animals were meant to be with me and they all found their way there. And whatever that story may be, right? But man, these things, the things that they do, your animals do are just crazy. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Good morning, Romeo.
Hey, what's up?
Talking about, animals and them finding their person. My dog was gifted to me. We actually met her the other day, and I got diagnosed with a medical, epilepsy, and my dog can sense, and I didn't train her or anything, but she can sense when I'm about to have an episode.
Oh, yeah.
It just was meant to be. She was gifted to me, and she just took on that role. So, she's my service dog.
She wasn't trained to be a service dog? She just did?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Wow.
She just did it. It just was her instinct with me.
That's awesome.
Every time something is about to happen, she comes and crawls on me, or she starts kind of barking, but not barking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she wasn't trained to do it.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. All right.
She's my girl. She's very well mannered and everything. And with her breed, they say that they only choose one person to be their person. She's a Scottish Terrier. And when they have that person, that's their person.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, that's incredible, right? You know, I believe that. I believe that every animal will find their home. Most of them, they find their home. You know, they choose you. Is that what they always say? They choose you. You don't choose them. RD42547. Hey, Rome, I have two big cane Corsos, and my kids were playing in the backyard. Some guy ended up in my backyard calling my kids, and my dogs attacked him, dragged him around till I came outside, called the cops, and he got arrested for trespassing. Wow. That's impressive. My grandmother used to have a shepherd, German shepherd named Lady. And when we were little kids, we all go to my grandma's house and play in the front yard. There was about 5 of us. And Lady would hide behind the bushes. And if anybody ever walked near the fence of my grandma's front yard, because she was fenced in, she would come bat out of hell from behind those bushes. She would hide and wait. And it was crazy. These animals are crazy, man. They're just incredible. So your animals, right? Somebody texted me, hey, Romeo, my female pit bull would sound like Queen Latifah. Yeah. It is kind of funny, though, when you look at your animals and they're looking at you like they have something to say to you. I think you've all done it, right? What would they sound like? Good morning, Nat. What's going on?
Romeo, there's no bigger bond than a dad and a dog you didn't want. Because I have 2 dogs, a little terrier, and she's the little protector. She runs the house. She does not like drama. You can't scream. You can't be loud because she thinks you're being aggressive and she will attack you.
Okay.
She got lonely, so my wife got her a little friend, and it's a little pit bull. We got the little pit bull when it was little, but the pit bull thinks the terrier is its mom.
That's kind of funny.
It's so funny because the pit bull bows down. The pit bull is like 10 times bigger than this terrier, but they do talk to me. They talk to Raider Dave. They let me know when they're hungry, when they need to go outside. And it's crazy because they have this sense where as soon as I pull up in the parking lot, they will start barking and going crazy like they know I'm here.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's a good feeling too.
Well, yeah. Dogs are the only living creatures in your house that care that you come home every day.
Every day.
Your
it doesn't
wife,
matter how bad or
none.
what. They are always happy to see you.
Always happy to. Your wife's not always happy to see you. Your kids aren't always happy. No, they're the only things that are grateful for your existence.
And they're like my little service dogs because they will take off any stress that I have, and like I just sit around them, give them treats, and my day just automatically gets happy.
All right, Raider Dave. I mean, I always say this about, we're going to talk later on this morning about spoiling your pets, but you should love your dogs and give them whatever they want. They are the only, and cats might do it to some extent, depending on what kind of cat you have, but a dog is the only living thing in your house that cannot wait for you to come home. It is grateful that you're there and will show you how grateful they are every single time you walk through that door. They won't ignore you. They won't yell at you. They won't nag you. They won't be ungrateful for what you provide. Nothing. A dog is there specific, like your dogs right now, you guys are going to work. Your dogs are waiting for you right now for you to come home. That's all they're doing is waiting for you to come home. All right, 842-547-7. You can't say that about any other living thing in your house. Your wife, your kids, your in-laws, nothing. No one. Lola and Pebbles say, hi, Rome. Oh, Raider Dave sent me a picture of his dog. Oh, yeah, they are little dogs. That's funny. Oh, Raider Dave. Hey, good morning, Romeo. Hey, it's Jets fan Alex. I guess my dog's not loyal. There was a noise in the closet last night, and I told her to go check it out. She just looked at me, and then she closed. Then she whined. She just looked at me, then the closet, and whined. Well, you know, they're not Dogs aren't savages anymore. I mean, they're RD42547 Chili Gilly sent me a picture of his dog in a sweater, in blankets. Yeah, these dogs, man, they got it made today, boy. It's too cold outside. All right, Michael Bean is here. It's Thursday. It's the Marriage and Family Center. Michael Bean is here. 661-327-5100 or Psychology Today is how you find him. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Oh, Michael, how's everything going?
Oh, I think I'll make it. How about you?
Oh, things are great, man. Cold, but things are great. All right, so Michael's
I'm
here.
lying, of course. When I say I think I'll make it, I am, of course, lying.
Oh.
Because none of us are getting out of this thing alive, right?
Nice. Yeah. Oh, Michael, you got dad jokes now. When you said that, Michael, you made me think of that commercial, that insurance commercial where you turn into your parents.
Well, I don't know if it's a dad joke. I don't know if it's a joke at all. It doesn't seem very funny.
Oh, well, true. You can't avoid it. So that's a whole nother conversation. But Michael's here. We're going to talk about your relationship.
Thursdays, we talk about relationships. I think it's Tuesdays we're supposed to talk about like existential philosophy, right?
Exactly. Oh, my gosh. All right, Michael. I want to talk about this idea as it comes to, when you brought this up right before we went on the air about permanent relationships might be going to the wayside to some extent. People might not take them as seriously because of the reason that we're about to talk about is you have too many options nowadays. You have these dating apps, you have the internet, you have social medias, you have all these options to meet people in other cities, in other countries, in other places that might make you feel like you don't have to worry about finding somebody to settle down with because there's always another option in your queue.
Yeah.
How long have we been dealing with? I mean, we still make fun of millennials. We still, make jokes about millennials and call them millennials. But millennials today, if I'm correct, are in their 40s, right? I believe they're not just these young, dumb kids in their 20s anymore. Now we moved into different generations. So how long have we been dealing with these dating apps and this social media where people can just have? I mean, I've heard a guy say, Michael, he's had 100 women in his dating app queue that he's, to choose from. And how do you find anybody like that? How do you take relationships seriously when you're dealing with that?
It's an actual problem. It really is. It doesn't sound like it should be, right? There's too many options. What does that even mean? Well, if you've ever gone into a restaurant and you look over this huge multi-page menu and you can't even begin to decide where you're going to start, you know what it feels like. That's the thing. And very often a criticism that restaurants get are too many choices. You narrow it down. Be really good at a few things. Don't drive people crazy with all these different options. Well, the same thing happens, and relationships are getting less permanent. People are kind of moving into them, in and out of them a lot faster. Many more people now are in open relationships of some sort, either polyamory or open, or it's just changed things. It just really has. And you asked me how long. There've been dating apps before there were apps. As soon as there was an internet, there was Match.com and eHarmony.
Yeah.
1995 kind of era.
Soon
as social media hit, it became part of that. It was like Cupid and Plenty of Fish. And then finally, Tinder hit in 2012. So that's how long people have been able to swipe and find, a date.
Do we need this many options? I mean, as I know, it always sounds great. Oh my God, the world is now your dating scene. You can open up, but the reality is that I'm not sure human beings are capable of having so many options in their life. To me, it seems like it ruins it more than it makes it better.
And how good does your date have to go to want a second date with that person when you've got 5 others that you didn't choose but you could have, that were just as interesting looking it's just a different world. It's a different kind of thing. I mean, okay, so maybe there's this little moment of awkwardness in your conversation. Things bog down a little bit. Maybe once upon a time that was nothing, and you just kind of moved past that and ended up having a great time. But maybe now it's just like, I don't know, things got kind of awkward. I'm going to try this other person.
Things got awkward. She went to the bathroom, and I was there too long by myself. So I went on my dating app and found somebody else. All right. Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Okay, so Michael, this idea that people are I can't remember specifically how you said it, but permanent relationships, people are less concerned or care less about having a permanent relationship nowadays. And do you think that's more of if you had to break it down percentage-wise, would you say 50-50 want a traditional relationship versus 50 that don't, or what? How would you break that down?
Well, I mean,
I know you haven't done a study, Michael, but just if you had to guess.
I don't know the percentages, but I just know that a lot more people are having a lot more, but more temporary relationships. Just like people used to, have a career their whole lives, sometimes even just at one particular company their whole lives. And you just never hear of that anymore. People have several different jobs in their careers. Just like that, people are having many different relationships now. You used to make fun of people who would get together, as high school sweethearts or whatever, and then get married and stay married, and they'd brag about how awesome they are, because they didn't do it like everybody else. I don't know, but just like that's kind of pretty much gone away. This whole idea of just having a relationship is kind of waning. People are just really quick to bail because they kind of know they have a lot of other options, and that's sad to see.
Could one of the options be this whole idea of likes or followers, or they're getting their emotional connection through their cell phones? And so they don't need a human emotional connection unless it's for sex?
Well, that's the thing. You've got to believe that there's a certain percentage of these people who are swiping and having lots of dates and getting together for just a one-night stand kind of thing are doing that because they're actually lonely. They really need some friends. And then, like you talk about sometimes, people, followers on Facebook, just because they're called friends, doesn't mean you have a friendship. There's a whole range, though, of online friends, just like there's a whole range of in-person friends. You can call somebody your friend, but you only see them every 3 or 4 months, but still they're your friend. Or you can have a friend who you're just hanging out together all the time. Well, same thing online. If you say you have a whole bunch of friends, well, hang on, how many of those are you actually having regular video calls with, or having long chat sessions with really getting to know versus, I just have followers.
The idea of insecurities. Hold on, Michael. I want to talk to you about insecurities as it pertains to social media, dating apps. Does that alleviate your insecurities, or does it make you less insecure? Think about that. Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center. The Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Or Psychology Today is where you can check them out. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
All right, Michael. So let's talk about insecurity. One of the biggest things, I think the biggest problems people had when it came to dating and or getting into a relationship was how they felt about it, whether they were insecure people or more secure about it. And with the way things are going today with, dating apps, social media, you can find a woman everywhere. You can find a man anywhere. Do you think people are more insecure or secure about dating and relationships?
Well, we do. We talk about security and insecurity a lot. And in this situation, it's like people are probably a lot less insecure, but it's not necessarily a good thing. Picture somebody that you hire to work in your company, and they really don't care if they get fired or not.
Okay.
I mean, do you want that? You want an employee who comes in and they're just like, I could take or leave this job. You know, I'm ready to move on to another job any moment. I think I want somebody a little more committed than that.
Sure. So that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know that it's a good thing that people are just like, well, if this doesn't work out, I can always just swipe a few more times.
So where do we get the insecure? Where do we get the people that are having problems in their relationships because, my husband or my wife is spending a lot of time on social media and a lot of time liking this person's photo or talking to a ex-girlfriend or boyfriend from high school now, 20 years later? Where do those insecurities come from? Is that's still real though, right? But
it really is. We feel like our primary relationship is kind of life or death. We can't picture a future, or we can't picture what our life would be like if we weren't with this person. And so if we start seeing signs that maybe they're not that into us, or maybe they're moving a different direction or whatever, it kind of feels like life or death to us.
So are people happier, Michael? Are we happier now?
Choices?
Huh?
Having all these choices?
Yeah, I mean, you remember, well, I don't know if you remember being a, having a couple of girls that are on the side, you're not on the side, but a couple of girls you're dating at the same time, or a couple of guys chasing you. Everybody was happy because they were the it thing, the hot girl in, high school, college. All the guys wanted her. I mean, it felt good. You were happy, but now that we have all these choices, are we, as humans, are we happier that we have all these choices, or we not because we're never getting what we want?
It's hard to imagine something that makes it harder for people to focus, making people happier in the long run. Therapists, myself included, spend a lot of time with clients, particularly our individual clients, teaching them how to slow down, to focus, to stop having 1,000 thoughts a minute and kind of just focus on stuff. One of the biggest problems we have in moving ahead in life is that we lose our focus. We can't commit. We don't commit, or we kind of go a direction for a little while, and then we take a 90-degree turn, and now we're going a different direction. This is not good for us. It doesn't move us forward. It doesn't make us feel stable or successful, or it feels like we're just on this shifting ground that never gives us any kind of stability.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to say to you, Michael, was after about 25 dates that you find something wrong with all of them, you might start to feel that, oh my God, I'm never going to find what I'm looking for, when the reality is you're creating this problem for yourself.
Yeah, and maybe it's even, I don't even want to work hard enough to have the sort of relationship that I really know is possible that some people have out there. But they seem to be committing and investing a lot of resources in a way that I don't have to, and I can still have all these dates. So it's almost like temptation to just keep life temporary. I'm going to I have this really easy method to just, jump in and out of stuff.
Now, here would be my question with all the availabilities. At a certain age, do we change at a certain age? I mean, you can't be 70 years old still running the field, right?
Well, I mean, sure. There are different life stages, and we're focused on different things at different ages in our life, for sure. There are plenty of people in every age that would like to be in a relationship, but man, that's just kind of not as much what we're doing later on or earlier on,
But that would be my question then, Michael. As many people as we could sit there and go, are happy with all, are not happy, but are satisfied with all of the choices and just never settling down, there's just as many on both sides of the fence, whatever you're looking for. You would think there's just as many options for him or her, or whatever, partnership you're looking for. There's just as many people out there wanting to do the same thing as you, right?
It does seem like there's a pretty wide field out there, for sure. Yeah.
All right, Michael, hold on a second. Michael Bean is here. All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100, or Psychology Today is where you find him. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Okay, so Michael, we were talking during the song about one thing you said about the having so many options. You think it might not necessarily be a negative thing, that people don't need to feel like they're stuck in a relationship that's not what they want, right? And there's other options available. Okay.
Definitely a plus of people feeling not stuck in relationships. Having a society where relationships are optional means that people aren't like, oh, I'm going to be out on the street if I don't stay with this person that's making me miserable.
So let me ask you this. What if, or could you say, I'm going to go all in. Okay, I'm going to give it my best effort for this relationship, because at least I can look myself in the mirror. If it doesn't work out, I already I have other options. I'm not stuck, but at least I gave it my all and it didn't work out. Why don't people think like that?
I think some do. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people also are really fully convinced that they gave it their all. You know, I tried everything. And you tried. Wait a minute. You tried everything? Are you sure you didn't just try everything you know, or everything you could think of, or everything you could think of with some input from some other people? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At some point, you didn't try everything. You tried what you thought was reasonable, which might be okay. Maybe that's all right. You try everything you think is reasonable. But you didn't really try everything. You didn't try everything. And you might have tried some things and then kind of just like, well, I tried it for 2 days. But this is a thing you actually have to do every day. This is a thing you have to do for weeks in a row to get a result. So saying you tried everything, I don't know. Maybe.
All right, Michael. I'm going to get you out. Do you have an appointment after this? You have an appointment.
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here, right? I'm gonna keep you a little longer right now and get you out of here because I got some commercials and stuff to play. But when you say when we get to the point that we tried everything in our minds, and it's just so much easier to leave nowadays, right? But then, what? Why do we even try anything? I mean, you could go that way with it too.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes it feels hopeless. Sometimes we want to throw our hands up and just say, "Why even bother?" You know, that happens, and that's just called discouragement. And man, does discouragement happen in relationships? Absolutely. If somebody loses a few jobs in a row, they're going to be really discouraged when it comes to trying to get another job. If a person loses a few relationships in a row, they're going to feel that same way. Why bother? Why even try? And a lot of people, people getting in relationships, the marriage age for people actually who get married is going up and up. The number of marriages people are having is going down and down. So people are having these temporary relationships and they're not really getting married, or they're waiting until much later in life to get married.
See, now let me ask you this question: is that necessarily a bad thing that we're waiting to get married older? Who said marriage? Who came up with the idea that marrying your high school sweetheart at 22 was you won? Who's this? What's wrong with this idea of, well, let's date later? Let's date later into our 40s. Remember when what they used to call when a woman in her 40s used to be talked about negatively if she wasn't married already. I mean, so what's wrong with the idea of let's get married early or later and do it less? Is that necessarily a bad thing?
Again, it feels like we humans do better when we can focus.
Okay.
We can kind of narrow our number of just different things we have to kind of concentrate on in a day. Also, I have a bias. I think there's a lot of research that also backs this up, but I just think that even though we can raise kids in separate households and the kids can grow up and be okay, I think that the statistics kind of show that that's not necessarily the best situation on kids. It's really hard for kids to have their families kind of split up and, okay, I got mom over here and I got dad over there. So if there's not that kind of long-term commitment then I believe that kids suffer.
Okay. I mean, that's legitimate, Michael. All right, Michael Bean, Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100, or go to Psychology Today. That's where you can find him. Michael, I will talk to you next week. And hold on a second, because I got a topic for you next week. Ooh, we're going to get into, all right? You know who Cam Newton was, right? He's this dumbass. He's a dumbass. I mean, let's be honest. He was a quarterback in the NFL, but he's really not the brightest dude on the planet. But apparently he said a woman's value gets lower the more children he had. Now, apparently he was being interviewed. And what did she ask him? I guess Sarah Fontenot? I don't know who that is. But I guess she asked, do you feel like women's values get lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men? Okay. He went on to say he had the same conversation with one of his baby mamas. Now, Cam has 9 children with 3 different women, and told them that the next guy she's with won't be the one for her if they aren't willing to love her 5 kids. Now, it sounds like he's, I don't know who he's referring to. She had a daughter with a anyway, blah, 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 whatever, it doesn't mean. Cam says these guys out there that only want the woman and not their kids, but that ain't how it works. So when you read the story a little bit, I can see where he's coming from, although the way he says it is really ridiculous. Here's the thing. Do you think that's true? I'm going to tell you why I don't believe that's true. I have a friend, and this is why my friend taught me this. I have a friend who only dates single moms. And the reason he dated them, and it's going to go back to one of the things that I've said for a long time, is usually single moms are great partners because they work harder. They're working harder to provide for their children, and they know what it takes. So when they deal with a man, and especially a man that wants them, they're not as critical on that man. They're not as harsh on that man. They accept him a little more with his faults. And a lot of you would say, well, yeah, Rome, that's just because they got kids and they want a man to help. Well, no. They can do without you, and they will, because they have to. They're already doing it. So for Cam Newton to say a woman's value is lower than the more children they have, I don't know if it's lower because of the children. I would say it's lower if you have multiple baby daddies. I think that's when men start questioning women, not because of the kids, but because of the multiple baby daddies. But on top of that, you act like you're some sort of catch. That's the other thing, that a lot of these men act like, well, I'm the catch. She's got 2 kids from her ex-husband who she married in high school and it didn't work out. Well, okay. So you're the catch? Because how many kids you got? It just to make that statement is just so, I mean, it gets a little more clear when you listen to the whole thing and see what they're talking about. But the headline really made it seem like Cam Newton is a moron, although I still think Cam Newton's a moron. But I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true in today's society. Women, I think, and I've said this for a long time, single moms, 9 times out of 10, understand their lives, and when they accept the guy into their lives, they usually treat you pretty damn well, as long as you're not a jackass. They'll get rid of you pretty quick if you're a jackass. I think times are different, so I don't know why. I think Cam Newton's wrong. Cam Newton, he's an old NFL quarterback. He came out and said a woman's value gets lower the more children they have. Now, the question was asked to him when he said this was, do you feel like women's values get lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men? Now that is a different question than just saying a woman's value is lowered by the number of children they have. Those are 2 totally different questions, so I don't know how we got there. But yeah, and I've told you, you could have a woman who's been married for 20 years, had 5 kids, and that's her, one guy. And then the marriage doesn't work out. And you know what? She could be a great woman, So I just, single moms are a different breed. And for the most part, they're better to date than, women without children, to be honest with you. RD4254 7 to 7. Good morning, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, Romeo. I was listening about the single moms call that you were making.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
So I dated a single dad, so the other way around, and I have to agree. My mom even told me one day, and she said, whether it be a single mom or a single dad, when they get into a relationship, it's different. I can't put my finger on it, but I think they...
Oh, what happened? I lost her. Wait, say that one more time.
I think they value each other's presence a little bit more when you're a single mom or a single dad, because I can tell you that I'm in a relationship with a single dad, so being present, I think, and he has for his baby mama or whatever the case may be. The respect is there, but I think each other's presence and better understanding of things in life is just better.
That's a different perspective because they have their own. They have to take care of. They have to make sure these children live and they're taken care of, and it changes their perspective when it comes to a relationship.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think, change of priority, change of perspective, obviously.
Yep.
And also, coming into that relationship, not being the parent, it also, makes you respect them a whole lot better, because not only are they, being a single parent, but they're also trying to make a relationship work, dealing with all of this, all together. So for single mom, single dad perspective and respect.
I will also say this, that is, if you're a single parent and you're over here trying to make sure this kid is taken care of, when you're in a relationship, you're not as aggressively selfish about the relationship with the other person. Yep. And that changes that changes everything. All right, well, thanks for calling. Yep. Later. Well, Cam Newton is the old NFL quarterback. He came out and he said this. Well, first of all, he was asked the question, do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men? Some woman asked him this, and he said, yes, women's value get lowered the more children that they have. I don't know that that's real. That's kind of a stupid thing to say, honestly. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, Rome, I just want to give a shout out to all the single moms out there that are successful and holding it down for their household.
Okay.
All right, bud. That's all I have.
What's going on?
Good morning, Romeo.
Hey, what's up?
So I think I don't know if I'm hearing right or if I'm hearing wrong. The lady that just got off was talking about perspective. I don't know how to say the word, whatever it is. But I heard from you, I guess your value from being a single, I'm going to say parent, because you could go both ways, either as a woman or as a man, with multiple baby mamas or baby daddies, that your value goes down. I believe that. I strongly believe that, because once you have more than 2 baby mamas or more than 2 baby daddies, I don't think nobody really... there might be somebody that might be out there to respect you, but your value goes down. You're basically you can't hold one man for one woman for a long time. You could be going through a lot of baby mamas or a lot of baby dads. I know a man who has multiple baby mamas, a lot of kids, and his value is very low because nobody's taking him serious.
Let me ask you this question. And this was I didn't say this. Cam Newton said this. Let me ask you this question: a woman with one baby daddy, is her value lower than a woman with no kids?
Can you repeat that, because you just went out?
Oh, I'm sorry. A woman with one baby daddy and 2 kids, is her value lower than the same woman with no kids?
I don't think so.
Okay, now hold on. Let me ask you this now. Is a woman with 2 baby daddies have a lower value than a woman with 1 baby daddy?
Okay, once you start going to multiple baby daddies, and now, like I said, it goes both ways, baby mamas or baby daddies. It does. It really does.
This is where I'm going with that. what Cam Newton said was women values get lower the more children they have, not the more baby daddies or baby mamas they have. Okay, that's my point. When you add that into the equation, then yes, people are going to judge you differently. But now I got one more question for you. If you have a woman who has a child with a man who has 6 baby mamas and you're one of those 6, what is her value?
Oh, girl, why run? Like I have a friend. He has a lot of kids and a lot of baby mamas. And I see him go through relationships like crazy, and it's like, obviously these women start seeing their value.
But do you have to judge who gets judged harsher? The 6 women that have the children with the one baby daddy, or the baby daddy? Because they're all in one big bubble at this point. They're all making bad decisions.
Of course a woman's going to get judged more. Come on now.
And what is the value of a woman who's the 6th baby mama? The first one might have made a mistake. The 6th one knows he has 5 more ahead of her.
Exactly what she thinks. She's thinking she's getting the prize. Oh, maybe I could be the one to settle his down. Baby girl, it's not going to happen.
All right. I appreciate it.
You at the stupid part. You at the stupid, you think. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. I know what you're saying. I think when you start to talk about adults making bad decisions when it comes to having multiple baby mamas or daddies, that's where you start to value them lower. The kids, I don't know, I don't think that is what you should be looking at. But okay.
No, I was just this real quick. I was married 20 years. I have 1 baby daddy. I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I had somebody who was not married at all and is on their 3rd baby daddy, and what's going on there?
All right. Well, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Bye. Well, there you go. The equation gets a little more complicated, right? When you start adding other factors. Cam Newton, old NFL quarterback, says a woman's value got lower the more children she has. What do you think? Good morning, Hot. What's up?
Hey, is this Rome?
Yeah, what up, man?
Hey, I got 6 baby moms, 15 kids, and I'm back with baby mama number 4 when we got married. I got 2 kids from her, and she turned around and didn't like my lifestyle because I had, too many girls, and I turned around and left her. Well, she left me, got married, had a kid, and then we got back together.
With baby mama number 4?
Yeah, and got married.
Why her?
She was the only one that was not on drugs.
I don't know if I should. Congratulations. I guess that's all I can say. I'm glad you found the love of your life. Congratulations.
Right? She always was the love of my life, but I didn't understand when I was younger.
Well, congrats, man. Congrats.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to call in and put my little input on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, my God. Oh, gosh. RD42547-7. Hey, Romeo, it's more like 6 out of 10. I dated a lot of single moms, some with 1 baby daddy, some with multiple. Always ended up bad. Either baby daddy drama, or she just too independent, or trust issues and has been hurt by too many jerks. Finally, I got a younger girl with no kids and built a great life with her. We are now married with 2 kids of our own. Okay. I don't know what baby mamas you've been dating, but I think there are more single moms out there that are looking for a good guy and not somebody to take care of them. So Cam Newton came out and he said that women lose their value based on the number of children they have. Now, he was asked the question by somebody about women losing their value if depending on the number of children and the number of baby daddies. But he just broke it down, I guess, based on children. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, Rome, somewhere out there is a single mom with 5 baby daddies, mad as you know what. Send her my way. I shoot blank, so I can't be 6th baby daddy. Well, that's pretty funny. RD42547-7. What do we got here? Hold on, let me see. Hey, Rome, you're absolutely right. When it comes to men and their egos, It's about the number of partners, not the number of kids. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I think it really comes down to. The number of partners, not the number of kids, right? All right, 842-5477. Because you got to believe, right? You got to believe that there are, you got to believe that a guy will take a girl with a couple of kids and one partner, one baby daddy or one sexual partner over a woman who's had, like, say, 20 sexual partners, right? Guys' egos can't handle it. Seahawk Lou, just want to give Cam Newton a big shout out for saying some dumb ass stuff like when he said, then he wonders why he's jobless. Is Cam Newton jobless? He's not jobless, is he? I see him on TV. All right, 842-5477. Please tell me you recorded that. I can't believe he said, I got back with baby mama number 4 because she's not on drugs. Yeah, he said it. What did he say? He had 5 or 6 baby mamas and 15 kids, but got back with baby mama number 4. They got married. Hey, fairy tales do come true. Cam Newton, old NFL quarterback, says a woman's value got lower the more children she has. What do you think? Good morning, Hot. What's up?
Romeo, I always look at men and women relationships like vehicles. Everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants something that don't have no miles. It's brand new. You can show it off and be proud of it. When you start to add children and different things, it may bring down the value of it a little bit, but it's not to say you can't find a good used car. And it might outlast a brand new car. You never know. They do exist. It's rare, but it does happen. And, I mean, a lot of these women nowadays are hoopties. A lot of these guys, they're...
Let me just say this, Raider Dave, before you go any further, and I'll let you finish. Your logic is flawed by this. You're saying the kids bring down the value of the car, right?
Not all the time. It may sometimes. It may bring problems. But you can't find a good... I had kids when I met my wife, and I'm a great...
Let me ask you what has more value, okay? Let me put it to you like this. You have a single mom with 2 kids, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she's been married, had 2 kids, didn't work out, now she's a single mom. You meet a woman who's been run through by the football team. Which one has more value to you?
I would rather have the single mom with 2 kids because she's been hurt. She can be fixed up, and I put some new rims on her, and she can drive perfect and look nice. And
so now,
she probably has more value.
So here's the ego and why I think Cam Newton is wrong when he says value gets lower the more children they have. It's not the more children they have. It's the more men they slept with because a man's ego can't handle that. And he's a dumbass, egotistical jerk, so I know he thinks like that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Cardi B. She was on the top of everything, and now she's had kids from different men, and I bet you anybody has a chance now with her.
She has 2 kids. She has kids by 2 different dudes.
Yes, and probably and
I don't know, was she a hoe before or was she just a stripper? I don't know nothing about. I don't know that Cardi B's past.
But I bet people have a better chance at hooking up with her now that she has those kids than they did when she was single and on top of the world.
No, not at all. Because Cardi B fits perfectly what I'm talking about. A woman who has enough money and is working to take care of her and her children. And she's looking for a man to accompany her, not to take care of her. And usually those women like that will accept more out of a man and will put up with a little more from him because they already know they got a whole other life to deal with when it comes to career and raising kids on their own.
I agree. I'm just saying a lot of these women are buckets and a lot of these men are hoopties, so just be careful on how you pick your car.
All right, get out of here, Raider. All right, 842-5477. But this is where I was trying to get to with Raider Dave. Men's egos is not the children. Men's egos is the multiple men they've slept with. That's the problem with you guys. You can't get past that. Your egos and insecurities can't handle that. So you'll take a woman with 3 kids and 1 baby daddy if that was her only high school sweetheart, let's say, or but you won't take a girl that slept with whatever your number is, 10 men. That's the point. What's going on?
Hey, I'm calling about the baby daddy thing.
Yeah, what about it?
I've been in that situation. The more kids does take value because that's less time, more responsibility, just so much more to it. But also the baby dad thing. If she has one baby dad that's in and out of prison, this and that, and she found the second one that, he's a good dad, I feel like it loses value with the kids, but the more baby dads shows like her judgment, you know what I mean? But no matter what, the kids do make a difference, and just the baby dad, it does also.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
All right.
RD4254777. But I'm going to tell you, the sexual partners lowers the value than the kids lower the value of anybody. I'm just saying. And if you guys, that's because most men's insecurities and egos can't handle it. And that's just that. Already 4254777. There's no need to explain any more about it. What do you got here? Oh, Paulina. Hold on, Paulina. Let me get to you next. See what Paulina has to say about all of this. Cam Newton came out and he said that the more kids women have, the lower their value is. And I don't agree with that. I think it's the more baby daddies they have lowers the value than the amount of kids they have. But some men's egos can't handle it. And basically what he was saying was it comes down to most men don't want the kids. Although I have always said for years and years and years, single moms are the best because most single moms, at least 9 out of 10 of them work their asses off to raise their kids. And they have a different perspective when they get in a relationship with a man than some single woman who wants everything and is so selfish and into herself. It really comes down to the selfishness. And she wants it to be all about her. A single mom knows it's not all about her. Hey, good morning, Romeo. It's Paulina. 100% women lose value the older she gets and the more kids she has, regardless if they have one baby daddy or multiple. A single with no kids is valued more than a woman with kids. Why? Because men see a single mother with kids as baggage. Why? Because being a single mother is demonizing, while a single father is praised. It's a stigma that exists. While you want to compare and believe that a man with kids is the same as a woman with kids, it's not the same because a mother with kids, regardless of the number of baby daddies, is frowned upon, while a single man with kids is applauded and praised. I agree with that, but I don't know if that's still the stigma that exists in the world today. I think that stigma may be changing if it hasn't already. Already 4254777. What do you got here? Hey, Rome, you guys are comparing single moms to used cars. Y'all wild. I didn't do that. Raider Dave did that. He's the idiot that came up with that analogy. It's not how many miles. It's more about what kind of miles she has. Long freeway miles, meaning lots of kids with one guy, or stop and go traffic miles is the woman with multiple baby daddies. Okay. Gosh, you guys. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
Hey, the reason why the kids makes the difference is because imagine a woman with 2 baby dads and 2 kids. Okay, not really nothing special, not too much. But then a girl that has 1 baby dad with 6 kids, that's a lot of responsibility. And then this guy, he might have the spot forever. We know who she's going to run back to, all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's why the more kids, it's more stressful. It's more work. It's just more. And I feel like that's what really devalues the woman, honestly, is how much baggage she comes with, which is the kids. The man, that could be handled, but the kids, they're not going to go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Right. So let me see what you guys sent me here now. Let's see here. Rome, imagine this. A woman with 2 baby daddies with 2 kids compared to a girl with 1 baby daddy with 6 kids. Definitely not the worst, if anything, because he might always have his spot, if anything. I don't know what you mean by that. But the question was the kids, right? Cam Newton came out and said the more kids a woman has, the lower her value is. Not the more baby daddies she had, the more kids. But I think when it comes to men's egos, they would prefer the kids over the sexual partners, right? So, but here's the question, and this is where everybody is, some of you are having a difficult thing understanding. And I've said this for years, for forever, that single moms are worth dating. They're worth getting involved with because their thought process is different. If you take a 25-year-old single mom, most of those women are working. They're trying to better themselves because they know they have this child to take care of. They're not selfish women. They know that there's something more important than them. Now you take a 25-year-old woman who doesn't have a child, who's self-centered, who's selfish, who wants her relationship to be all about her. And now throw social media into the mix and really everybody's an influencer. Is that what you guys really want to deal with? A selfish woman who wants everything to be about her and not you, not your relationship, but about her, as opposed to a single mom who knows that there's a bigger picture. I'm just saying, you guys are looking at things from the wrong perspective.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.